Does your dog love bacon and peanut butter? If so, you're going to want to join us today as we learn how to make a fantastic dog treat. Have you ever made peanut butter bacon doggy cookies? Betsy is sitting right here because she knows that I am making one of her favorite dog treats. And so the whole time I'm in the kitchen, she's going to be sitting by my feet. Hello, everybody. My name is Deb from Just Do Something Homestead, and today we are going to make homemade dog treats. About a year ago, I started making Betsy's homemade dog treats. At that point, I decided I could do a better job, both economically and healthy. And over the last few months, I have come up with a huge selection of dog treats that Betsy loves. Today's recipe includes peanut butter, eggs, 2 slices of cooked bacon, and you're going to want to chop that all up, water, flour, salt, dry milk, and quick oats. And many of those items you may already have in your kitchen. We're going to start this recipe by mixing the dry ingredients together in your stand mixer. The first ingredient is 2 cups of flour. Next is 1 cup of oatmeal, and I've already measured this one out. I am using organic quick oats. Lately, I've been storing dry milk in my pantry, and so this ingredient I always have on hand, and we are going to add a 1/2 cup of dry milk. The last dry ingredient is salt, and I decided to cut this back. It was calling for a teaspoon of salt. I simply think that's too much. So 1/2 teaspoon of salt. I'm going to stir these together on low, just so that they're stirred up a little bit. You definitely do not want to stir your powder ingredients on high because it's just going to go poof, right up through the air. I'm going to stir in 2 full slices of bacon that I have previously cooked. And in fact, if you followed me for any amount of time, you know that I store cooked bacon in my freezer just to make these dog treats. But Betsy loves bacon. This recipe calls for 2 eggs. These are organic brown eggs. Even Betsy likes organic foods. And I'm going to crack that right into the dough that we have started. Next is peanut butter. I choose to use 100% peanuts. Do not use peanut butter that has a lot of additives in it. You want all natural, and the only ingredient on this is peanuts. Our recipe calls for 1 entire cup of peanut butter. Oh, I'm just going to scrape it out, but it came out pretty easy. You're going to want to cook this at 350, so I just preheated my oven, and we are going to mix this up. And this mixture has formed a crumb mixture, and so we're going to start stirring in some water. And this is 2/3 cup of water, but what you're going to do is you're going to slowly add it as it's mixing to make the dough the thickness that you want. This shows you the texture we're aiming for. So it is still kind of crumbly, but once I start kneading it, it's going to stick together. I sprinkled some flour onto my countertop, and now I am going to take all my dough, put it on top of that, and start kneading it. As you can see, it's very crumbly. That's okay. It's all going to blend together. A little bit in the bottom. And that's exactly why you need it, so that you can make it into a dough. All right, I have kneaded my dough until it's nice and soft. Now I did add a little bit of water. It just seemed like it was too dry, which I don't understand. Normally it's perfect, but added a little water and now I kneaded it and it is time to roll out. Let me show you what it looks like at this point. So I'm gonna roll it. And I have not needed to add any flour to this recipe. It is fine. So you're gonna keep rolling it until it's about, a quarter of an inch thick, a half inch at the very most. And this dough is a little bit different. It reacts different because of the milk in there. So just keep on rolling until you have it nice and flat. I'm using my dog bone cookie cutter. It is 3 inches long, and I am placing them onto my parchment paper covered cookie sheet. So I'm gonna keep cutting these out and placing it on the cookie sheet. Here is the first 12 to go into the oven. I'm going to bake them for about 20 minutes. And I have done many doughs. This one is a little more challenging. It seems a little flaky, if you know what I mean. So when I rolled it out, I'll be honest with you, I had to use my fingers many times to pat the dough back into the shape. The timer just went off, so I am going to flip these dog treats and cook them for 10 more minutes. This dough can be pretty tricky to use, and I discovered it is far easier to roll it into balls and then take a glass and push it flat. That is far easier than rolling out this dough. So that is what I am going to do for the rest of these. I am going to roll it and flatten it. For the second pan, I decided to roll them into a tight ball and push them down into a patty, because this recipe just does not like to roll out very easy. The dog absolutely loves them, but it is time consuming. I'm going to bake these circles for 15 minutes. A couple things I learned from this recipe. First off, you can roll it out and you can make cut out dog bones. These took about 20 minutes on one side, flip it over, and then I would only cook it for another 5 minutes. But as far as the peanut butter cookies, they were even faster. And so they took 15 minutes on one side, turn it over, and just 5 minutes on the other side. And honestly, if I was to start it all over again, I would just make the cookies. Betsy absolutely loves this recipe. All right, it is time for the critic to tell us what she thinks of these treats. All right, Betsy, are you ready for this one? Sit down. All right, can you speak? Are you sure? Speak loud. Ooh, she's a beagle. Oh, you only got half of it. You were so jumpy. There you go. All right, what did you think, Betsy? Was it face licking good? Mm-hmm. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and share, and have a wonderful weekend, everybody. Bye-bye.